Hey guys, what up? Total Control 871 chiming in with our next expose piece on the fake pandemic. Let's give a listen.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us as we near the end of another week together. And like so many Friday nights, this is a busy one. Several developing stories, and we're going to begin tonight with the coronavirus, surging on several fronts tonight: cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. Dr. Deborah Birx today warning, with the spike in cases we've been seeing, there will be more deaths to follow.
I believe he said cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. I want you to pay very close attention to what he just said there, because as always, our big pharmacy-sponsored corporate media, they're always going to start off their entire segment with fear-mongering. It's out of control. Things are exploding. Oh my God, you're going to die at any moment.
We have just learned tonight more than 66,000 new cases in just the last 24 hours here in the U.S. More than 3.1 million cases in America now, more than 133,000 American lives lost. And we have new and grim images from California tonight, with morgues now full. Refrigerated trucks are now being used to store bodies, much like what we saw here in New York months ago. Texas setting a new record tonight, more than 10,000 COVID patients hospitalized, hospitals struggling with staffing tonight. Testing chaos in Arizona tonight, now one of the world's most active hotspots, families waiting hours in triple-digit heat to get tested. And as we've been reporting, results taking up to 3 weeks.
If your results take 3 weeks to come in, why in the world are you getting tested if you're asymptomatic? Literally, by the time you get your results back, whether it's positive or negative, the whole thing has come and gone. I'm still a little confused as to why people are lining up getting tested, because when you get tested, and pretty much the only thing that myself and the whole perpetrators, I don't even know what to call these people that are perpetrating this fraud. The only thing that we can appear to agree on is that probably, most likely, the virus has already run its course. Tens of millions are most likely positive, and will never get sick, will never show symptoms. So these huge lines, all of these huge, massive lines, you know, all of this, and all of this, all it's going to do is create fear. It's going to create that scary chart of millions test positive. Millions test positive. We're going to talk about that too. Let's give a listen some more.
Trump traveling to Florida today, as the state today reported more than 11,000 new cases. He was not wearing a mask, but First Lady Melania Trump sent out this image wearing one. Tonight here, the new ABC News poll showing where Americans stand on the president and his handling of the pandemic. And ABC's Matt Gutman leads us off again tonight.
Tonight, haunting new images. Another victim of the virus wheeled out of El Centro Hospital, the COVID capital of California. And outside the Fry Chapel mortuary, those white mausoleums for COVID victims. Refrigerator containers. The number of dead tripling here, too numerous to handle inside.
An average month used to be between 45 and 50, and now we're into the hundreds.
And when you say cases, you mean bodies?
Yes.
Sheila Kruger owns the mortuary. Her staff, like family to her, not immune from the virus.
We lost 6 of our staff to COVID.
You had 6 of your staff members out because of COVID.
6 of 8.
In your 33 years in the business, have you?
Okay, so they try to say that, well, first of all, we have our mortician here claiming that she has hundreds of bodies. Okay, well, I can tell you right now, those 3 trailers cannot hold hundreds of bodies. you would need a lot more trailers, a lot more. The next thing we hear is she tries to say that she's trying to say it in a quick way that 6 of her staff have died, and then Matt has to step in to clarify it, that they're out. 6 are out, and she says yes. So this tells me that this person that's being interviewed is capable of deceit. So I don't know whether or not to believe her when she says that her intake has now gone into the hundreds. You've already demonstrated to me just that fast, in under a minute, that you're capable of deceit, and you're more than willing to lie during this interview to generate favorable results that cater to fearmonger media. I want to go now to where are we? There we are. Okay, guys. Here I am. Here we're looking at a picture from the segment. I took a couple of quick shots. What is this? This is Houston Methodist Hospital. Okay. What we're looking at is an all too familiar image. Very close cropped. They're never going to open up the shot. We saw what happened when they tried to, in the last segment that I did, I counted out the alleged COVID patients. And even then, it's not like we were looking at their chart. Were they there in those beds for COVID? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say yes. You know, I'm trying to give as much credence as I possibly can here to these wild claims, okay? You're claiming hundreds are dying per day. You just showed me 3 trailers. Let's see. Those trailers were... Let's see. They weren't full-size trailers. What do you say they were? Like maybe 25 feet long, maybe? So you got 75 feet of refrigerated trailers. In our picture here, all we see are staff. We see the staff. We never see the overrun hospitals. You keep wanting people to believe in it. You keep saying that we're in this national crisis. But like a tabloid, you offer no proof whatsoever. Here's the problem, okay? First, we hear about our refrigerated excuse me. Let me take a little sip of something. And no, the irony has not been lost on me that a man with a chronic cough is calling out the hoax for what it is. Trust me, it's that has not been lost on me. All right. So here we have our trailers. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We have our 3 trailers. Each one is roughly about 75 feet long. This woman is claiming hundreds of people are dead per day. 25 feet, so 5, maybe 1, 2, yeah. At best, if they were foot to head, you know, their foot to their head, foot to head, you know. These are really bad sketches of people. And I'll say maybe, I'm going to give it to them as best I can. Stack maybe 3 high, and probably they have a center aisle down the middle so that they can walk in to put more people in, like more head, feet, do. I hope I'm like doing this reasonably well. Their head, feet, body, head, feet, body, head, feet. Okay, so we've got what, 9? 9 times 2 is 16, right? See how bad I am. Let's see, is it? Or is it 18? It's 18, right? 9 times 2 is 18. So, I tell you what. We'll round it in their benefit. We'll say that there are 20 bodies per trailer. Oh, shit. 20 times 3. 60. Okay? At most, assuming that there are bodies inside those trailers, at most, she's sitting on 60, and what will we say? Now, she said that normally she has what? What did she say she normally had? 45? So, maybe what? Maybe another 30 inside. Or do we want to round it and give them the benefit of the doubt? 40. 100 total. That at most there could be 100 people packed inside this morgue and those trailers total. Now, here's the problem. Boop. In our segment, I'll link it where you can watch the whole thing. It's a 5-minute or 5 or 8 minute segment, whatever. Now, we hear how millions of cases, hundreds of thousands dead, okay, and tens of thousands new cases every day, and hundreds of people dying every day. The problem with all this is that Matt Gutman is standing inside of a MASH hospital. And this MASH hospital is empty as fuck. Okay? Matt Gutman goes on in his reporting talking about how the usual, overrun, can barely keep up, we don't have enough protective equipment. Matt, where are the bodies? Where's the body there? Where's our body? Where's our body? And over here behind these curtains, where? Where's it at, Matt? You see, this whole thing could have been done away with already if you had just simply shown us the bodies in the beginning. But you didn't, did you? Here we have our close-cropped worker. Empty MASH hospital. See, this is the problem with these MASH hospitals. And these morgues. The morgues, mash. Mash, morgue. Morgue, mash. The problem with these two things have a big problem with each other. You can't have an empty mash okay, and then want to claim that you have overflow morgue. You see, you can't get to the morgue until you've been to the MASH. Okay? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? All right. That's the problem. The whole thing, it's like an upside... I tried talking about this before. It's like an upside down pyramid. Let's see if my art skills can do this any justice. Okay? Down here at the tip, this is death. Okay? At our tip. And way up here is asymptomatic. A-S-Y-M. That's way up here. And then here we'll have mild flu. So I'll write over here. M-I-L-D. Flu. On this level. And then you'll have hospital care on that level. And then finally still you'll have ICU. There. You dig what I'm saying? And the problem that the hoax keeps running into, that they're hoping that you're going to be too, well, I hate to say it like that, but too stupid to figure out, is that they're hoping that you're going to be completely blind and not pay attention to any of these things. Okay, make my little asterisks. You won't pay attention to any of these things, and that all you're going to see is the death or the ICU. Okay? And they're not, up here for every single, now I'm going to use, because I don't want any of you mathematicians out there jumping down my throat, I'm going to use small numbers that we can wrap our head around. So down here at the tip, where our death is at, for every one person that has died, let's say that there were 30 in ICU, and that there were 300 in the hospitals, and then there were 3 million with mild flu-like symptoms, and then of course we have hundreds of million who are asymptomatic. But they want you, okay, fucking completely ignoring our 100 million asymptomatic, paying no real attention to the 3 million of mild flu, paying no real attention. Well, they want to draw attention to the hospitalizations. They want that, okay? But unfortunately, there's not enough hospitalizations to justify a pandemic. That's where I'm trying to go with the whole thing. There's not enough of our hospitalization. There's not enough hospital or ICU to justify dismantling your constitutional rights and taking away your right to make medical decisions for yourself. There's not enough of these things. Therefore, all they're left with is showing you empty MASH hospitals. And always outside of morgues. Okay? They never take you on the inside. You keep saying that this is a national crisis. Well, why don't you crack those motherfuckers open? Let's have a look-see. If you want me to give up my constitutional rights to make medical decisions for myself, crack those motherfuckers open. Otherwise, go fuck yourself. Okay? If it's a national crisis where we have to suspend the Constitution, well, I guess we're going to be suspending the HIPAA law too, aren't we? Okay? If we can suspend the Constitution, we can suspend the HIPAA law. Okay? And we can suspend that HIPAA law in a respectful fashion. We don't have to see faces. Hey, like I said, believe it or not, that mannequin thing, it wasn't really so much the awkward stiffness of their limbs that had me briefly contemplating the possibility. It was the fact that they all seemed to be the same size. Their feet were all about a foot away from the footboard of the bed. You know, so everybody's the same height? I don't know. I don't want to get into that. I'm trying to lend as much validity as I possibly can. All right, guys. Let's see. Can I? Yes, I can. Let's go here. There. Here I am. So, that's what I'm saying. You want me to surrender my constitutional rights? Well, then you're going to have to bring the receipts. I'm not crazy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a nut job enthusiast. I'm saying that wrong. I'm tired. Just simply, you're going to have to bring the proof. Okay? I think his last name or first name was Williams or something. 61-year-old. Solved Fermat's last theorem. You can't just simply boldly proclaim it and then go collect your Nobel Peace Prize or whatever the math equivalent was. No, you're going to have to submit your proof. And people down in the comments section, they're going to say, that's disgusting. What do you mean? What do you mean you want to see the bodies? Why do you have to see the bodies? Well, because we saw the empty MASH hospitals, okay? And the empty naval ships, okay? Therefore, it is a sane and logical. No, it's not in the realm of conspiracy, okay? Okay, it's not that far. It's not a far leap at all. It's very much indeed a plausible reality. That if somebody could just simply shoot the outside of a MASH hospital and claim that or lead you to believe that they're overflowing in the MASH hospitals, when we always see on the inside that they're not. They're not overflowing. They're always empty. Okay? So maybe those morgues, those portable morgue trucks are empty too. I'd like to believe that they're not. Well, you know what I mean when I say like to believe. I don't want there to be any death. I don't want people to die. But you know what I mean. This ugliness could have gotten out the way. We should have gotten it in the way to get it out the way months ago. Okay? We should have been seeing the dead live streamed or whatever. We should have had the continuing footage of burials, of never-ending burials. We should have seen processionals of cargo trucks filled with dead bodies. I know they tried to give us something of this in Italy, but the footage literally was never longer than 3 seconds, and it kept getting recycled. The same of the military trucks, allegedly. We never saw the inside of that. You know? I'm sorry, the government will lie to you. So you are going to need to see incontrovertible proof. Okay, this is not unreasonable to ask or expect. Especially in light of the fact that the MASH hospitals and naval ships are all empty. Como got caught warehousing, stockpiling the PPE and the ventilators. None of that shit got used. Okay? None of that shit got used. He's still sitting on a mountain of it. So if the South wants their PPE, go ask Como. Como's sitting on it all. All right? And come get it from Comrade Murphy, too. If I'm not mistaken, his fucking stormtroopers were kicking in doors and taking people's protective shit. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? Hey, you're talking to a man that spent the entire day, when this thing first jumped off, what was it, February, March? I spent the entire day on the phone with New Jersey legislators and the DEA, and man, I wasted an entire day trying to get that cold medicine with the Breaking Bad chemical in it that makes meth or whatever you call it. I don't know, whatever the shit that they use to make meth. I was on the phone better part of the day seeing if I could get a temporary moratorium on the Breaking Bad law. That's what I like to call it, the Breaking Bad law. And you know, ironically enough, maybe that supporter, I don't know if they're a supporter or not, but maybe that subscriber will say something down in the comment section. They said to me in the comment section when I vlogged about trying to get the Breaking Bad, a moratorium on the Breaking Bad law, and they said, man, they're not gonna do that. Basically, they were saying that whatever's happening, it's not so bad that they're going to suspend the Breaking Bad law to give people access to cold medicine. I tip my hat to you. You turned out to be correct. Son of a gun. So, like I said, I tried to believe in this thing. I tried to put stock in it, but the inconsistencies just kept coming in one after the other. And when the hospitals never filled up, when the MASH hospitals started, I think for one moment there they were talking about turning them into homeless shelters. It's like and here's an interesting tidbit about the whole COVID and homeless thing. They could have filled those MASH hospitals with homeless, but of course the homeless didn't really have COVID, not like that. Okay. And because people are already psychologically conditioned to not give a shit about the homeless, and the whole psycho mind fuck here was to get you, middle class people, to be scared to be fear mongered to the max, and to be fearful and to take note and to come to attention, okay? The deep state understood that they couldn't achieve that desired result utilizing homeless people. That's why you didn't see too much action on behalf of homeless during this whole thing. See? You have to think. All right. This has gotten a lot longer than I wanted it to. So yeah. Empty MASH, empty morgues, and you can't have both. Okay? If your morgues are filled, then that means your MASHs are filled. Specifically, that means that the virus has gotten so bad that the regular hospitals couldn't contain it, and that they did need MASH hospitals, and that now people are dying on the scale that's been claimed thus far, which would then fill up the morgues. Okay, but you can't bypass the MASH and go straight to the morgue. And of course, we never ever see the inside of the morgue. All we see are empty MASH hospitals. And you're always expected to just believe, just trust. And of course, the comment section will always be there for the lap dogs and the government establishment bitches to always say, you're crazy, you're nuts, you're sick to want to see the bodies. Well, let's just say there's a reason why they call it the body of proof. Total Control 871.